Is brought to you by On the Road Again Motorcycle School. Hi, I'm Steve Bertolini, the president of On the Road Again Motorcycle School, and I'd like to tell you that life is short, so live a little by learning how to ride a motorcycle. Classes are available from beginner riders to advanced, including private lessons. Lessons are offered on the campuses of Nassau Community College and Suffolk Community College, also offering the license waiver class, where you can skip the DMV. More information about On the Road Again Motorcycle School can be found at 631-862-RIDE. That's 631-862-RIDE. Or online at LRN2ride.com.
This is the 2024 Best Community College radio station in the nation from the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. Thanks for listening.
The voice of Nassau Community College.
This is the award-winning 90.3 WHPC HD Garden City.
Available on the Odyssey app.
90.3 WHPC.
This Sunday. Every Sunday, side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here, relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gas, mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
Feeling funky today? Because we sure are. On Motormouth, Island's only automotive talk show where we get to channel other shows. How's that, Chris?
Nobody under the age of 40 knows what that song is. That is the coolest TV show open I have ever heard. Next to Taxi, that has got to be the coolest show open.
Well, I will tell you, I'm glad you like it because I happen to have I have 8 versions of it.
Play them all. We can sit back and relax. I'll go get a sandwich.
I will use them every week because, you know, it's... Anyway.
Tell the fine folks what show open that is.
That's the Barney Miller TV theme show. There was 8 seasons, and I have 8 versions of it. I started watching the show again. I've always been a fan on and off, and then
fantastic show. And
now, you know, sometimes we all have weird patterns in our lives. So just what happens at night.
You tell us, you have a weird pattern in your life every once in a while.
I know.
Oh, go on.
Just so
I'm all ears. Now you have my interest. I'm all ears.
That's the last 2 shows I watch before I go to sleep at night. And I find myself tapping my fingers. I'm playing the bass. I'm drumming in the bed. And I'm like, then I noticed that, of course, like many shows, the theme song had changed. And there was even a different one in the beginning and the end of the show.
Yes.
A little different. And we got into this on Thursday. Vince and I did. We were talking about looking at, it's all studio musicians that of course, who did that, which were always the best in my mind of the best. Mm-hmm. So I found a YouTube video where a guy had posted all 8 versions. So I downloaded the YouTube video, then imported it into the the audio program, broke it apart into separate bits, and burned it onto a CD so I could use it on the show. So we may not hear it again. We'll see, because when I now upload the YouTube video today, if they trap it and say no, you can't use that,
right.
If not, we'll enjoy it. So anyway,
Just heard that bass riff, and I knew exactly where what it was.
And it also,
Ringo
some of the
Jim.
versions have much less or much more horns to them. I mean, they really changed it around. They did. Many shows did that. So anyway,
Right, but a brilliant piece of work. I put that right up there with Vince Gribaldi. Very,
Okay, yeah.
very good piece of work. I love it.
glad you like it.
Good stuff. It's a lot better than the I don't know, swinging Christmas trees or whatever you were playing.
You know, we are kind of known for that, going everywhere. And like I said,
Broken valve stems or whatever.
yeah,
Playing.
you know, like my music collection goes from, you know, Bach to Beelzebub. So it goes
Right.
and everywhere in between. So my tastes are everywhere in between as well. I like a lot of different things. So
You really. Another thing I never knew about you.
keep you around, right? What's up? What the heck? So anyway, we're talking about cars,
Yes.
car stuff, or whatever your maladies are. You can call us at 516-572-7440 or text us at
203-670-4127. Remember to use your thumbs.
right. Follow us on social media, Motormouth Radio on Facebook and X. It's real_Motormouth Radio on Instagram. And if you go to YouTube, we have Motormouth Radio and Motormouth Video, where this show will be up later in its video entirety.
This is the only automotive talk show that has two combating YouTube pages.
Right. We what do you call it? Right. We compete with ourselves.
On this new thing now, don't just go to a car show that has one YouTube page. Oh no. Go to one that has two.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, chocolate and peanut butter. Let's see which one wins.
Yeah.
So just call, likes, describes, and prescribes, and all kinds of other stuff like that. There, comment on it.
Well,
Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Come on, for crying out loud. All you guys have an opinion. I know. I've heard most of them.
Yeah.
All of you have opinions, for crying out loud, just like you have other things on the other side. So let's hear some of those comments.
Yeah, I always hated to say it, but you know, the like, share, subscribe thing does mean a lot to the YouTube algorithm. It does help the video get out to other people, and because I know I watch YouTube as my TV source. That's kind of what I watch.
We all do now, yeah.
And I see how things pop up that were associated with other things that I didn't look for. So I see how it happens. And you know, and I see a lot of really good stuff. There's some stuff that I see that I'm not really, you know, I mean, you know, you have your own filter. That's all there is to it.
Sure.
So of course, I think a good friend, my friend Doc Mike, is out there listening to us today. I went and got my back and my hips adjusted today, and he took care of me
Nice.
as always. So that was very good. Thank you, Mike, for that.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that. I think I see you preoccupied, but there's some things I want to talk about whenever we have a moment.
Yeah, let's go to the phones first.
All right, let's do that. Yeah, that's why I thought you were preoccupied.
Let's go to the phones and say hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Ray, it's John.
Yeah, John.
Hey, John.
It's a happy Memorial Day to all those that served. God bless every one of them. And those that passed.
We thank them for their service, John. Thank you for bringing that up.
God bless them.
Absolutely.
Ray, I'm going to stop you on. Yeah.
You already did.
Channel. YouTube video, or not YouTube.
Motormouth Video.
Or Motormouth Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I click on a thumbs up on each one, but just sort of diversing the population.
What do you mean?
Pick one or the other.
Well, okay. Let me explain to you why.
Go ahead.
We had
John.
radio first.
John, you touched a nerve. Just letting you know.
It's just semantics.
I'm glad I did.
No, we had Motormouth Radio first. Chris had set that up many years ago. It was just, and we had a certain amount of subscribers on it, and it wasn't a lot. We don't have thousands of people. We only had, so it was maybe less than 100. But when we opened Motormouth Video, thinking that it would be easier to search for that, the subscribers from the first channel could not be moved over to you can't move them over. You can't share them. They would have to resubscribe. What's that?
You can't get there from here.
Exactly. You can
Right.
do that. So we didn't want to lose the first one, so we kept the channel. Now, what happened is I started posting all the videos on Motormouth Video, and like I've said them before, more people were watching them. More people were going to Motormouth Radio than Motormouth Video. So now I post it on both channels, and that's what it is. So
John, in an incredible marketing move on our part, we've decided to embrace the mistake that we've made and call it this very strategic sort of marketing project or campaign. So now we're selling it that way, where you don't just need one YouTube channel, you need more than one.
And Chris, I completely agree with you.
Thank you. I mean, one of them we'll
So
probably
what was
call
the
one
point
of them.
this call.
We'll call one of them OnlyFans.
Yeah, right.
So one of them's just gonna be the OnlyFans, and the other one's gonna be for, like, I don't know, for the regular subscribers.
You have two separate sets of subscribers.
Yes. So we're gonna pull them. We're gonna pull them together.
Actually, I think there is overlap on there, John. So yeah.
Me being one of them.
Yes, you're not the only one. You're not the only one.
John, do you have to get that shop phone? It sounds like a telephone that's in, like, some salvage yard. Do you have to get that?
That's my home phone. That's official phone. I never answer it. It's probably somebody looking for me to donate blood.
I was gonna say, it's what, a spam calls not your friend.
I'm not doing the blood anymore.
Oh, that's good. Try and keep as much as you can.
But, hey, right, it's a good top-down day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be enjoying that part of it, because once I get home and upload all this stuff to damn YouTube, I'll be doing that. I have to go out to a friend's house out in St. James, so I'll be traveling and then smoking cigars and drinking good liquor and having good company. So that's what I'll be doing.
That sounds like a good plan. Twice the work for half the reward.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you. All right, John.
I love you guys.
Thanks, John.
And again, to all of the military volunteers, first responders, a happy Memorial Day to them and their families.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you, John.
Thank you.
It's well deserved. Thank you.
All right, John.
Stay well.
All right, thanks.
You too, be safe.
All right. We got all that out of the way.
Right.
Yeah, this is something, like I said before, I know my chiropractor's listening, and I wanted to get him in the studio here for years to talk about, just how guys can be more careful, or the things that can happen. We all know what can happen to our bodies as we work and contort ourselves. It freaking hurts.
Yeah, sure does.
But
yeah, and as we get older,
get a medical professional to tell us maybe what we should or shouldn't be doing, and why I've been going to him for 32 years and I still have to go back again. That's the other question. But who's
the smart one there?
You think that nighttime sitcoms were where it was at? This office should have a camera in it, because the cast of characters in this office is phenomenal. I mean, guys, everybody is phenomenal in their own right.
Really.
I was just talking motorcycles with my friend Keith, who comes into the office today. We were talking about a project, which now I'll be seeing Gerard today, so I have to bring that information over to Gerard to try and get some info for Keith, and then refer it back. It's all just a big network. You know how it works.
I was going to say, you're Mr. Network. I know that.
Trying to help people out. The other thing is, I didn't get to talk about this the other week. 2 weeks ago, I was over our good friend Pirate Paul's house, and we got the GTX running for its maiden start.
I know you touched on it 2 weeks ago, and I'm sitting here wondering how that went.
Went very well. I
saw the video. It ran very well.
Yeah, the engine was built and ready to go. And Paul did the smart thing. He did, I know what Uncle Tony does all the time. He got the timing up to top dead center and advanced the distributor 10 degrees. That's guaranteed to light you off every time.
Right.
And it did. It lit right off. There was a little issue with the idle, but I said, hey, you know what? It's a new engine. It's going to be weird for a while. So he's keeping the points distributor in the car. That's his choice.
Okay.
So and he had a few things he had to fix with it. So he's made a few changes already, and it's already gotten better. But I tell you, yeah, it looks great, sounds great, and the message from that is, a flat tappet cam, so the braking is critical. for the cam lobe. So you have to use the correct oil, the break-in lube. Do it. We ran that thing for a half hour at like 2,000 RPM, and and everything is fine. So you have to. There's still a lot of cam failures going on out there. A lot of lifter and cam failures I heard from a couple of different manufacturers. So it may still be a crapshoot because of old stock. But you got to do the best you can. I know every break-in I've done recently in the last couple of years, I've had my fingers crossed. I had like 3 rabbit's feet hanging.
Novenas, turning the statues upside down.
Geez, I tell you, it's crazy. So Paul is on his way with that, and now I made a change this week. I spent more money on myself. And I ordered.
I know the liposuction looks fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, it does work.
Yeah, it could definitely it enhance the wrinkles in your forehead. Very nice.
I'm changing the carpet color in my car, in my Pontiac.
Oh, you're taking out the basic black?
Yes.
Why?
Because everything is black carpet, black door panels, black dash, black seats, black console, black black everything. Yeah. And
perfectly fine to me.
So I bought a gold carpet. Yeah, you laugh now. You just wait.
I'll laugh later too. I'm sure when you get your dirty mud boots in that thing. Well,
I have black floor mats, and I don't get in the car with dirty feet. I'm always clean when I'm in the car, in that car. So
sometimes you end up doing impromptu work.
Mike Chevelle, which is a black car, has a. I don't know. Chevy had some weird color names for their colors in the 70s. So his interior is kind of like not a tan. It's not tan. It's not white. It's not oyster. It's kind of an off. And the dash is a different color. But his car has kind of a brownish gold carpet in it, which I thought was interesting. So I took a snippet of it when he installed that.
When he wasn't looking.
Well, it was extra. No, I didn't just cut it out of his carpet. It was extra.
He sees this whole size of a $50 sitting there.
Well, maybe you think like, hey, that might be nice.
Moths.
That might be nice in my own car because the car is gold. This would tie it into the inside to the outside, which is kind of what you want to do in a design spectrum. Mm-hmm. And I finally broke down, and I went to one of my favorite suppliers, and I bought the carpet. I have it right now laying out. Well, there's going to be 3 projects going to happen at one time. And that's the thing. I also bought a new tilt steering column from I Did It.
Nice.
So I'm going to change that. And I have seats on order that are, custom made Pro Car seats. Right. So I figured when the seats come out, that's the time to change the steering column because I can lay on the floor now without the seats in my way. Right. And once the column is in, then I take the carpet, the black carpet out, put the gold carpet in, put the new Pro Car heavily bolstered, beautiful seats in.
Sounds like a plan.
And then the interior is buttoned up. So
I like that.
So I have everything but the seats. I just talked to the guys at the place. I'm dealing with OPG on this. And it kind of got, I knew there was like a 6 to 8 week back order on the seats. I ordered them in January. So, so anyway, the guy said, wow, this has been a while. Let me check it out. So he put in an order through the company to follow up on this. So hopefully I'll get some information soon, and we'll get that done. But
very cool. Now the column is the column like a Pontiac column, or it's an aftermarket column?
No, well, it's aftermarket. It's made by I Did It. That's the company.
Oh, that's the company. Okay, I figured that was the company that was selling it. They actually made it. Wow.
I Did It. IDITIT is a company, and they make all the columns. The street rod guys use them. 55 Chevy. I mean, everybody, because they make aftermarket retrofit columns. In this case, I ordered a tilt column, which is nice.
Yeah.
I have a factory tilt column for the car, but it had.
I thought you did.
Yeah, but it had a column shift on it.
Oh, yeah. You would have to get the collar.
Yeah.
And have the.
Those years, believe it or not, I found out every time I looked at steering wheels, the steering wheel kept coming up except for tilt,
Right.
tilt. And I'm like, why?
The shaft is smaller.
No, that wasn't it in this case.
It is on Cadillacs, that's for sure.
Okay, well, in this case, I didn't know. So I went down to basement and I have the tilt column down there and I pulled the wheel off. I said, let me see what the difference is. It's just a steering wheel. No, it has to do with the horn and directional mechanism.
Oh, okay.
So now the column I have is worth even more because I have the right wheel on it. I have the correct wheel. So now it is a 1 unit. So I bought I did it. What it'll also give me is they pull off from the electrical connector another little side harness that now I'll be able to, I'll have 4-way flashes.
Son of a gun, because you don't have those, right?
I don't. But now through the, because the wiring going through the column handles all directionals, obviously. What it does is they just add a flasher unit into that and they put the button on the left side of the column so you could have a flasher unit.
That's great.
Yeah.
What a good idea. Now,
yes,
you could sell the original column, the original Pontiac column with the wheel, the tilt that you have stored someplace in the bowels of your storage area.
Right.
And now you can probably get the new column, that would put that money towards the price of the new column.
Right.
So you're getting the new column for next to nothing.
That would be nice. Yes, that's the plan.
Will you do it?
Probably. I plan on because I don't need that.
I hope so.
I'm not going to use it. The biggest thing is now when you want to ship that, okay, you take the wheel off, but it's an oversized, somebody's going to pay oversized, not me.
Yeah.
Buyer. But yeah, they do go for big money. And I did buy another thing.
Uh-oh. And you brought it to the studio.
Of course I did. I went and I
bought a box. What is that? A painless. Make it easy. I can't read. All I can read is painless.
It says make it easy, make it simple, make it painless. It is a.
What do you got?
A wiring harness.
A wiring harness. Oh my gosh.
This is a headlight wiring harness with relays and fuse.
Wow. So you're going to be wiring the Chevy Cruze.
So, of course, Kevin said to me, hey, but you already have headlight relays wired into your car.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Why did you do that? And
Why did you do that? Yes, Kevin is correct in asking that.
The reason was I wanted to move the relays, and the thing that bothered me was that now I was putting in that relay panel in my car. The problem was the wire colors don't follow convention. And I don't like mixing wires that aren't of the same convention.
I understand.
So
I get it.
I bought this harness which follows the convention, and I will be fine. The only thing I had to do was I had to get it. What the heck stuff is falling out everywhere here?
Yeah, but what's coming out of the box?
Jeez, I don't know. I had to get another plug to plug into this harness because the painless harness would plug into another piece of another painless harness, which I don't have. So this plug will adapt me. And what I did is, if you see, this had 3 black wires on it.
So that's a painless adapter.
Well, no, it's not. This was from Standard Motors. But you see, it had 3 black wires, but now they're not black.
Yes, they're not black.
Because I put a piece of colored heat shrink tubing over the 2.
You did?
To show those are the colored wires they're going to attach to on the painless harness. Now, the one thing I have to find, and I think Mike is going to help me out with this a little bit, is I need a Robin P4407. See these guys?
What the world is that?
This is a little plastic strap. These are the straps that connect into the bulkhead or in the
right,
and hold the wire.
It's a harness, right? It holds the wire up.
And of course, everyone I took apart broke because they're 60 years old.
Wow, it's so funny because I ordered something similar for the Chrysler, and thankfully they were readily available on eBay. But they were readily available. I was able to get like a bag of them for like $12 because the same thing happened. Chrysler puts a trough on either wheel well under the hood, and the strap, the wire rides in that trough, and the strap is just literally a piece of plastic with 2 of those tabs that sink into holes. But of course, you go to pop them off and they break.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's what it does, and it holds the wire down in that little trough there.
So in the restoration catalogs, some of these guys sell one of those for $5.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, no way.
No.
I found a guy on eBay that had like 10 for $10. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I called Mike and asked him because, through all the different restorations we've done on his stuff, he's got parts everywhere, like everybody else. And he says he may have a couple. I only need 6 of them, to do the whole thing.
Right.
So I'm going to meet with him this week. We're going to have lunch and we'll see if he's got something I can use and I won't have to buy it. But yeah, so I'm doing that. So now I have the front of my car apart. I actually had to pull the grills out of the car because where that harness travels is under the radiator core support, but in front of the radiator. So that
you have no
space,
access to it.
You can't get access to it, right? And when you open the hood on my car, there's that top panel where the hood latch goes in. Now on Chevys, that unbolts. You take that off, and you.
I was just going to ask you, why didn't you just unbolt it?
Because on a Pontiac, that's part of the core support.
Oh, for God's sake! Really?
Yes. So you can't unbolt that panel. So what I did was I took the grills out. And I was working through that area now.
You're working through a mail slot.
No, well, I got 2 huge mail spots. I have big grills. There's big grills on that car.
I've been telling you that for years, young man. Your grills are pretty big.
And you're right. So it paid off. It worked out. So, so that's my. But now the problem is I've been doing so much damn housework still. I've only got out there again the other day. Right. And I ordered this stuff during the week. It came in, what was it? Was it yesterday? The day before? So I got out there yesterday again and I started fleshing it out. And I said, you know what? I had this harness all laid in just to make sure everything was right. And I said, I got to take it all out. And why you say what? So I can bring it in here to show you. I got to put it all back again. That's the life.
You could have described it. You didn't have to take it all out.
I'll put some pictures up, of course, on this week's social media blast. People can see it. But this company, Painless, is one of the best. It's one of the premier companies for harnesses. Right. I know Mike Sims, he's got a Painless harness going into his 57 Chevy. And with their dash harnesses, they label every wire with where the termination is going to go. So it'll be heater, a blower motor, it'll be switch A, switch B, whatever. It's very, very easy to follow.
I was going to say, it sounds idiot-proof. That's nice.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, if you screw up a Painless harness, you got other pain.
You deserve the pain.
You do deserve the pain, yes, without a doubt.
That's funny. Just talk about running big block Chryslers. I found a little problem with that Holley carburetor. Big surprise.
Of course.
It's getting harder to start hot. Like I can fire the car up, I can drive it someplace and park the car and let it sit, and then it'll start right up again. Not a problem. But if I drive 10 minutes, shut it off, fire it up again, it's a little harder. If I drive it another 10 minutes, shut it off, it's almost impossible.
I have an answer for you, but first, let's go back to the phone and say hi.
All right.
You're on with the Motor Mouths. Caller.
Hello.
Yeah, Brian.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
What's happening? How are you?
What's up, Brian?
Not much. I was just going to tell Ray, you're not supposed to be working on this much on your car. You got it all painted.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, right? Timing is everything.
And I'll tell you something, you're right, because now every time I take a ratchet or a wrench, I'm like, oh boy, let's be careful here. You're right.
I was just going to tell you, I'll send my plasma cutter up there and you can cut that top off to get to those wires easier.
Boy, that'd be really, that'd be an interesting approach.
Yeah, just put the fine tip on it and just cut it out and weld it back up. That's what we do these days, right?
Right. Well, Brian, I'll tell you what, this was actually a much more interesting lesson because, when you have, you were a Porsche mechanic. When you have to work on cars like that, and that the owner is looking, the car is in good shape, you have to be clean, neat. You can't be an oaf. You have to work with some finesse.
Yeah, sure.
So, And on my thing, there's no time constraint. I'm not under the clock on this, so I can take my time. Believe me, I had a nice big stogie going. I had my gin and tonic sitting there that I was sipping. I had the right music on the radio, and I was just kind of taking my time and going through it and saying, all right, let's systematically do this,
right,
slowly.
Had some incense.
I do burn incense.
He's got his black light
not that
going on. No, nothing like that.
No, that was the way it was when I had somebody come by and they'd say, "Why is the motor out?" And it was just when I was working on a 911, and I was like, "It's so much easier just to pull the motor down. You don't touch the body. You don't have to worry about scratch, dings, or anything.
Right.
And you just put it back together. So, but it's a real adventure trying to figure out stuff after, especially when you got to watch out for the body when it's all done and clean.
You're right, and that was kind of the traps I fell into as I built the car, because doing things my way and differently, I put things in places that when the body filled around, I was like, I might have done that different if the car was together. I had that issue when I ran my brake lines and the proportioning valve. I mounted the prop valve, the adjustable valve on the firewall. And I was thinking, like, wow, where is the inner fender going to be when it's in place? It's going to be around here. Well, it was too close. I had to move that valve and then make another line, to accommodate it. So, yeah, those things happen all the time when you're building a car.
Right. And you didn't allow for service of that thing.
Oh, well, no, now I do. Yeah, you get it. It's right there. I mean, it's still accessible. I just had it in maybe a little bit of a better place if there was no inner fender well.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that right now. I've got another 2.5 hours of trimming, fitting, cutting, retrimming, checking before welding in. I'm doing the shock towers on the Mustang right now.
Are you?
Wow.
And sitting here, I spent 6 hours last week. Like I said, you make the cardboard templates, you're cutting, you're trimming, you're trying to get everything to fit right before you weld. And it was funny because I talked to Ray on Thursday night. Ford runs the fuel line and brake line through the center of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Right.
The drive shaft. And the few times that I threw the drive shaft, I was surprised that the brake line and the fuel line had gotten dinged up from the from the drive shaft being swung around.
Sure.
So I was thinking the same thing about, well, let's reroute this, or now that I got this out, how am I going to do that? But like I said, when you have 95% of the car torn apart, you have to think of other components going back on. You have a lot of room when she's naked.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a...
Oh, yeah.
Or the channel I watch.
And the car too, Brian.
Yeah, the car too. The channel I watched just rolled in on YouTube. There's how many people you see, the car comes in, they said they complained of a rubbing noise, and the guy ran a wiring harness or something down the bottom of his car and zip tied it to the drive shaft. It's like, yeah, there's your rubbing noise.
Yeah, there's a saying, and we can't say it on the radio here, but when you have 10 pounds of something in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah. Well, and this, Brian, I'll tell you what, this is where I do give Chris a lot of credit, and probably the only time you'll hear me say this.
I was like, what?
When you build something in stock, you have the blueprint already. The factory did it. Yeah. And if you follow that, you're going to be okay because they already figured it out.
It's easy at that point, yes.
When you do stuff with like me, if you think like me, you think you know better than the factory did, and you change things, you have to be ready to have that, slap in the face and say, nope, that wasn't right.
Yeah, it's like taking a dull butter knife and trying to stick it in your own temple.
That's you will do it again, and yes, I will.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand.
Touch base with you guys and say hey and happy Memorial Day, and thank you for everybody that served, and great show as always, and hopefully Ray, you talk about color picks and changes, and I guess that's why my car's been apart for so long, because I can't be decisive and just make up your mind.
Well,
you always want to change something.
Well, you could do it like me, take a brand new carpet out that I already paid for and just put another brand new carpet. Just buy it twice. Why? I buy everything else 3 times. Why not?
If I knew that, I would have got a goat myself, and then I don't know if I was swap over to the Mustang.
We could have.
Brian, Brian, don't think I didn't think of that as well. It's like I could go find a halfway decent 65 GTO and just raid Ray's shed.
Oh yeah, part stash without a doubt.
Yeah, trust me, I have no problem digging through your trash can.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no. Well, both.
It's like Brian said a couple. Brian, actually, it was I think a year ago yesterday that you got the dumpster delivered to do your clean out for your basement and garage.
Oh, yeah.
It was a year ago. And I remember Brian was saying he was putting boxes and stuff, just finally throwing this stuff out. I was going to drive down to damn Maryland and I was going to garbage pick his stuff. 'Cause I know there's stuff in there I want.
Yeah, that's amazing. And unfortunately, like Ray, I was like, I will never run a 2-barrel carburetor on anything, but stuff that I took 2 barrels off of, I still had.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And, the steering column, steering wheels, same thing. It's just so much stuff. And
well, the good thing is now I just talked.
Now. Instead of 3, keep 1 and throw the rest away.
I just talked to a guy this week. My good buddy Dougie from the UD asked me about a friend of a friend needed a 2-barrel on a Nova. I said, I actually have those. GM changed the 2-barrel a couple times, went from rounder to square. I have those. I have a pile of 1 barrels and 2 barrels. I said, now they're actually they're going to be worth something because where else are you going to find one?
Other than your basement,
Other
probably
than my
nowhere.
basement and
Yeah.
shed.
But why aren't you guys selling this stuff? Why are you throwing it away?
I like having it.
Yeah, it's. I get the same. Don't worry, Ray. I get the same thing. My wife goes, "When are you going to sell it?"
Yeah.
Fine.
It's like tribbles. I have like 5 little 2 barrels nestled in my arms at night when I'm watching TV. And my wife says,
I'm sure you do.
I'm just talking to the Rochesters on that.
I'm sure you're not far from the truth.
Yeah, I'll put them back down in their little hole down there.
Here's the way I look at it. I just think about it this way. When I sell stuff, the old car stuff, when I sell it, I have one bank account that's just got a couple $100 in it. And when I need to buy something decadent for my car, the money's right there and I don't have to have any consternation over it. It's just like, hey, I want to spend a couple $100.
No money.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way I look at it. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much time. Just take a picture of it, put it on eBay.
My problem is when I sell something, I have a new friend for 6 months and I don't need a new friend.
Right, exactly.
Brian, Ray and I walked past a guy at Englishtown. They had a bunch of stuff they were selling, and they were under a tent, and there was a sign above all of them. The sign said, "No stories."
Yeah.
So anyone that would walk up to and say, "Hey, I got this car," they'd all point to the sign and go, "No stories. We don't care. We don't want to hear it."
I like the one that says, "Please buy my junk."
Right.
I'm like, sure. How much you want? Okay.
That sign. I need that sign for the tool truck because they all come out and want to tell me the story how they broke something. It doesn't matter to me because I know you weren't doing the right thing in the first place, so it's okay.
Right. Exactly.
You definitely need that sign. No stories.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
All right, guys, let me get to the bottom of the hour.
Yep.
We need to hear Chris's story.
You got it. All right, Brian. Thanks for the call, brother. Talk to you soon.
Brian.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. So long.
Bye-bye.
All right. So
safe.
Brian is right. He is very astute. It is the bottom of the hour. And I will tell you that if you're still listening, I look outside the WHPC weather window.
What do you
Our
see,
weather
Ray?
is powered by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. It's a beautiful day. It's 63, but it feels like 63. That's what the phone app says.
Well, that worked.
It's going to be nice all afternoon, partially cloudy. Into the night, it's going to be nice this evening too. There'll be large scattered areas of dark after 8 o'clock. Followed by, I think, light again in the morning. It's going to be a nice week. They said there was going to be some rain. No, tomorrow's showing sunny to partly cloudy, so it's going to be very nice. I'm digging that. And I will say that if you that we have a contest here at the station. Arena football is back on Long Island.
Oh, good.
90.3 WHPC welcomes the New York Dragons to Nassau Coliseum as the official radio station, bringing you all of the action from the field to your ears, on air and online. To celebrate this partnership, you can win a family 4-pack of tickets to the home opener. Hey.
Wow.
That's on Saturday, June 14th at 6 p.m. as the Dragons battle the New Jersey Ciphers. Enter in by downloading and using the free WHPC app, which lends me to ask the question, do we have an honor group of the Memorial Day hour?
And we certainly do have an honor group while we're waiting for the winner of the New Jersey Dragons and the Baltimore Cougines. I don't know what was, but anyway, the Motormouth Radio honor group of the hour this week. If you own an old beat up pickup truck. Did that truck you bought years ago look great then, but now it's starting to show its age? Is there rot in the rockers and around the rear wheel well like they all get? Is it all dented up from parking it in the street for all these years? Has the air conditioning quit years ago and you have to hit a good pothole to get the radio to work? Well, if you still see a beat-up truck as a badge of a hard-working craftsman and appreciate the stress-free driving and no-nonsense operation it provides, then congratulations. You're part of the Motormouth Radio on a Group of the Hour this week.
I would like an old pickup, but I'll never get the one I want because they go for way too much money. Everybody's into the C bodies now, those square bodies.
Yeah.
I like
those Chevys from 73 to like 92.
Yeah, no, I like the ones that precede that. I like the round roof, the round cab trucks.
Oh, okay.
Those I think are like the most beautiful design pickups in the world. I love that. They go for tons of money.
They do.
So let's take our break. We'll be back with more Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. We'll talk about your car stuff once we get back from playing these spots on 90.3 WHPC.
And when we get back, I want to talk about my headlights.
Okay, great. We will.
With answers to your car questions. Give us a call at 516-572-7440. Oh, I should have said the Motormouth thing.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Okay, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motormouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motormouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
no, you got the promo for the best one was the first one. That's why I was because you said, what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motormouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
Yeah, you could seem like a grunge guy if you want. You could play some good electric acoustic. You could do a lot of things on Motormouth Radio. Or you could call us at 516-572-7440, where we go from my headlight relay project to Chris's candle power project.
Before I get into what I was wanting to talk about, tell me what was the issue with the Holley carburetors starting hot at during or warm, because I don't even think it's hot. It's just warm.
Okay.
Tell me what.
Well, usually
I'm going to write this down.
No, usually it's a hot start condition. It's fuel heating up. It used to be you get vapor lock back in the day. Ethanol gas isn't the same as the old gas. It's worse for that reason.
True.
So I recommend anybody with a big block car or a closed engine compartment, whatever, use a carburetor spacer, the spacer plate.
Okay.
There's many ways of doing this. The one I used back in the 80s was literally a gasket, then a piece of aluminum. The gasket, it was like a sandwich gasket and aluminum, and the top one was a bigger piece, which act kind of as a heat sink.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I use in my car now that I had under the 2 4-barrels, which I have under the 2 snipers, is a 1/2-inch, it's a wood spacer.
Oh, wow.
Because wood is a great insulator. It doesn't conduct electricity. So wood is one of the, phenolic also, phenolic. Phenolic is very good. But wood is a very, very good carburetor spacer. So I know some guys who are woodworkers, they've made their own out of a piece of nice finished plywood, something that was, it's got to be a very good grade of plywood. These the ones I have. I think it's even oak. So and it's like just a 1/2 inch stick goes between the carburetor and the manifold with a gasket on each side. So you may need you're going to need longer bolts or studs depending how you have your carburetor mounted, and you want to check. There's usually not an issue with that size, but make sure the air cleaner isn't an issue for height.
Right. You don't want a hood dimple.
And the other thing is just take a look at your fuel line where it comes from the pump up to the carburetor. Some of them were in precarious positions, like near heat sources, and guys have wrapped them over the years with some kind of an insulation wrap or just move them around. I like to get it as much into the free air as I can. And those things usually work well, but also check the timing on the engine. If you have too much timing, if it's too advanced, you're going to run a little hotter. It's running at about 8 degrees top dead center right now. That just because that has been the optimum place for it. It's probably a little advanced. I think the big block calls for about 4 to 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
But check it. You check it. Don't go by my memory. Check it. Check in the book.
Yeah.
I'm sure everything else is in good shape.
That's good because I was going to try and take a look at the floats again.
No.
I was going to take a look at that because I got the floats. I really have the floats perfect as far as.
So why would they change? Yeah.
Huh?
So why would they change? Float adjustment doesn't go out by itself. It really doesn't.
Oh, my car does.
It really should. Well, you have side hung floats, not center. So the side hung float is a pivot off of a little tower that's in the in the fuel bowl, and there's a little tang underneath it. And that's what actually rides on the needle valve. That sets the float height.
Mm-hmm.
So really, something mechanical would have to happen unless a needle and seat stuck.
Which just happened once on the car.
It does
you
happen.
saved my bacon then.
It does happen, which would actually lower the float, not raise it. So yeah, I would say good heat, heat spacer.
I'll take a look at that. I'll see because I want to the car's running. And I want to rebuild the other one that I bought. I just haven't had a chance to. Right. So I'll go with the spacer and just try. It takes all of 4 minutes to pull that carburetor off the car.
Like I said, if you have bolts going into it now, they're probably not even 1/2 inch bolts. You're going to need a longer bolt, or I like studs. I would put studs in the intake.
There are studs. Well, it's an Edelbrock manifold.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it could be bolts or studs, whatever the last.
Right. And I think I have there's a little bit of clearance past the nut.
Right. But now we had a 1/2 inch.
Right.
And now you're below. So, and you can borrow my stud removal tool if you want. I have a couple of those. That's instead of vice grips where you glue it all up, then the nuts don't fit anymore.
Right. You know how I work.
Buy new studs. Go to Napa, buy 4 new studs. Buy a stud kit. They say, actually, if you're going to order the spacer, I would recommend going to one of the online companies, Summit or Jags, whatever your choice is.
Right.
And order a stud kit. The 4 studs. They'll give you nuts and washers. I like the blue Loctite. The stud has 2 thread sizes on it. There's a fine thread and a coarse thread. The fine thread goes into the intake. The coarse thread goes up on top.
Right.
And I would blue Loctite that as you put them into the intake, so they don't walk out. And I think you'd have good. Follow the Motormouth Radio social media pages, and you'll see. I'll put a picture up.
Do I have to?
This time, yeah, you do, because I'll put up a picture of the carburetor insulators that I chose, and I think they were made by, I think they were Edelbrock. I think Edelbrock made them or marketed them. So, and there's others on the market. There's plenty of stuff out there, but yeah.
Thank you.
So now your headlights. Tell us about your.
Let me get into this for a second. The headlights on my Mazda, the plastic coating, they must have put some sort of spray type of coating on it because it started to crack and flake, and that's what it's doing on the driver's headlight. It's flaking off. So I went and researched a little bit, and basically what I had to do was sand it all down and go through the motions with a headlight repair kit.
Yeah.
The headlight repair kit basically is a bunch of round sanding discs. What would you say? A sanding backing plate, like something that you would put on a drill, and you would use it with the drill to sand the headlights. And it comes in different grades, and also this sort of chemical that comes in. It looks like a wet wipe package.
Right,
and
right.
you apply that on. So I was going to use it on the Mazda, but I went, no. I've never done this before. So
Oh,
let me try it on my car.
okay, okay.
So I tried it on the Explorer.
Mhm.
Now the Explorer still
Oh, they're
had,
known for
huh?
cataracts. The Fords are known for some heavy
Yes.
cataracts. Yeah.
Yeah. So not only does the headlight glass on the Explorer, not only does it kind of yellow, but also developed a certain amount of little tiny hairline cracks
Yeah.
where the light beam of the bulb hits it directly.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe I can take those out with the sanding. I was using an 800 grit sandpaper, and then I went down to a 500 grit.
Wow,
And
that's
then
kind of coarse.
and yeah, and then it went to like almost like this emery pad. But what I did was I kind of added more steps to it. So I used the 800 and got it really, I used the 500 first and got it like to the point where it was a cloud. It looked like a white piece
Oh
of
yeah, hell yeah.
white piece of a sheet of paper. Then I went to the 800. But after the 800, I went down to a 1000 that I was using. I had some old bodywork sandpaper and I used a 1000 on it. And then I went to a 1500.
Okay, keep
before
going.
before I got to the, what would you say, the compound like pad that really brought the shine out. So I was doing all of these steps on top of the steps that came with the kit. And I must admit, I did a fantastic job with it. It came out really well. But the biggest thing was that I did one car, but with whatever I had left, I was able to do the tracker.
Sure.
Because the tracker's headlights were awful. So when I finished using the 800 grit sandpaper on the Explorer, I went over to the tracker with it,
Yeah.
and I used that worn out 800 grit pad on the tracker's headlights.
Well, let me tell
And
you
I
something.
had what?
I just sent you
Yeah.
and Cliff some pictures because Cliff is listening and he's asking questions about this too. The genius behind this, the best headlight polisher I've ever seen in my life
Yeah.
is Mike Jr. And you look at the pictures I sent of my Mazda when I had it. He looked at my headlights. There's a before and after. And he used a series of products. He went down to 3,000 grit wet and dry sandpaper.
I believe it. I
And then
believe it.
used a
I stopped
couple-
at 1500.
You could keep going. Then he used a series of polishes, a coarse and a fine polish. You look at those pictures, the lens looks like it's diamond.
Yeah,
It's
it hasn't come in yet.
So but you need a little buffer. I gotta buy one of them. It's on my list of tools I want to buy.
You
I'm waiting
need
for Brian to
it.
get one on the truck.
It's a small little
Yeah,
buffer.
little 3-inch buffer, right?
Little buffer pad.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
That's right.
just bolts right to the drill.
Well, I'm going to buy a dedicated buffer. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Just that, yeah, well, yeah, even that would be spectacular. But just to play with it and learn how to use it before I did the good car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I haven't done the good car yet. But the moral of the story is the car that I intended, the Explorer, that got all the stuff good, like the brand new sandpaper and the brand new pad and got all the compound, because I have blue compound. It's light lens compound. It's a super light finish. I was using that on it. But when I did the tracker with all the worn out stuff, the tracker's headlights came out better.
Wow. Just so you know, there's been a lot of YouTube and Facebook threads about people saying that toothpaste can work very, very well as an aggravator.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
I never tried it, but I don't know. I mean, it does have a grit in it, a paste, not a gel, a toothpaste.
That Mazda looks spectacular.
Phenomenal. Well, Mike is a genius. He's the guy, man. He knows how to do it. I tell you, that was
and basically mine didn't come out that good, but they did come out good. I mean, you look at it and it's like, holy, it looks spectacular.
Yeah, I've done them on my own and not got that same result either. He definitely.
But yeah, toothpaste doesn't work. I don't think it works.
Right.
I've tried pretty much everything less going and buying a kit, but I went and bought the kit.
Yeah.
And I've had pretty good pretty good results with it. And now I'm going to buy another kit and use it on the Mazda, because you can only really do one car with the kit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really kind of
Well,
spread
if you
it
do
out.
it this way, if you do it his way, you just have to buy the two different compounds, and you have sandpaper. So you
Right.
buy that coarse and the fine compound, and then you just, that's what you follow up with. The idea with the compound is not to let it get dry. You don't want to build up heat in the plastic lens.
No.
You want to keep it,
cool, keep
lubricated,
it wet.
Wet, yes, without a
Yeah,
doubt.
I had a spray bottle with me at all times. And
Okay. Yeah.
Spray it, hit it, spray it, hit it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like wet sanding. It was like wet sanding.
Yes.
But it was, it's kind of funny. It was a very cathartic thing. It was nice. And like you said, you had to light up the incense. You had to put the cool stuff on the radio.
Yeah.
You needed a nice gin and tonic. And sit down with it.
Oh, and I found some good gin, boy. I was at the liquor store. The guy turned me on to. I've been drinking Bombay, which to me I thought was top. This guy told me this gin. It has like a lilac smell to it. Wow. I mean, and I'm buying a new tonic water now, which is a top shelf tonic water. And with the right lime, let me tell you, it is like an explosion of taste in your mouth. It's phenomenal.
I was never a gin drinker.
Neither was I, so I found Bombay.
and I don't like lilac.
Okay. Well,
unless it's Choward's gum.
Yeah, it's like a scent is what it is. It's not a flavor of lilac; it's a scent. So very, very nice. Very, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'll stick with a rum and coke.
Yeah, hey, whatever works. Whatever works, that's what you use.
But yeah, my point was that doing headlights was really right up my wheelhouse. I was really enjoying the job of it. It was a job.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I was truly enjoying doing it. I really thought it was going to be a burden, but it was work. I was starting to get Popeye arms there for a second, sanding things down. And it didn't take the cracks away. That unfortunately did not take the cracks away.
Let's take the cracks away here when we go.
I have a shiny crack, Ray.
We say hi, caller. You're on the Motor Mouths.
Hey, happy Memorial Day, gentlemen.
Hey, Bob. Thank you. Happy Memorial Day.
Robert.
For you, this message is for you, Mr. Carney from the Honeymooners. It's called, because he was always in the bag,
True.
It's called Hendrix.
Hendrix, huh? Okay, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, brother.
I don't know the name of this new one I bought. It's in a white bottle with blue scroll work. It looks kind of Mexican to me, but woo boy, nice.
Well, my suggestion is off. You have your guy, but if you want that variety, try Hendrix.
Will do. I certainly will.
I tended bar for quite a period of time.
Really?
And I used to watch people lit on gin, and I was smart enough never to drink gin.
I'm with you, Bob.
They come in husband and wife Sundays. Around 2:00, they're still in the bag from Saturday night.
Wow!
And they're drinking. Oh yeah, sure. Well, this is this goes back and forth.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And
hey, listen.
They're drinking gin martinis, and I'm like, oh man, I am so smart not to drink that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to that level. I've gotten a lot smarter in my old age, and when I feel the buzz, that's when I cruise.
I completely understand.
Right. Yeah, because I want to get stuff done. I still want to get some work done. So I know if I have another one, I'm going to be sitting there and I'll be turning up Jim Morrison. I'm like, wow, man, this guy is cool. So,
Well, I want to wish you guys and all your listeners a happy Memorial Day. You don't get it until you get it. You see what our guys and girls did for this country.
Absolutely right, Bob. You're absolutely right.
Very
and
true, Bob.
Thank you for the sentiment.
Wish you guys well. Have a lovely week.
Thanks, Bob. You too.
Thanks, you too. Be safe.
All right. So, yeah, we are coming to a wrap here.
Hold on real fast. McMahon Brian just chimed in at 203-670-4127 on the text line. He said he does sell and use the small buffer for headlights. He says it works awesome.
Oh, good. I'll be talking to him about that very soon then.
Yes. And also, I had gotten a text from Joe the Undertaker.
Joey.
As soon as I can find it. He texted us at 203-670-4127. He says, talking non-ethanol gas, he says, are there any stations still selling plain gas, no ethanol?
There are, but not here on Long Island. You got to. I have an app. for that. Joe, send me an email at the Motormouth Radio address. I'll send you a link to the app. I forget what it is, but I do have it on my phone. It'll show you where to buy ethanol free. Upstate, you got to go upstate. There was a station out here in Suffolk, but
I remember there was one, yeah.
I don't know if they're still doing it. And then, of course, when you're out of state. All right, so we're going to get out of here, Chris. What do I tell the people waiting for me out in the parking lot?
Don't follow us home unless you have some non-ethanol gas.
Or some Hendrix gin.
Or some Hendrix gin.
So, Chris Switz and Ray Guarino out on this Memorial Day. Have a great, happy, and safe weekend. Chris, I'll see you again next week where we do this again.
Yes, very much next week when we do this again.
On 90.3 WHPC. See ya.
See ya, bye.
The following announcement is attorney underwritten. This show on 90.3